Alright, you're thinking about another build for the new Path of Exile expansion. Guess what? The answer is still DD. How fun. Even after it was nerfed by like 66%, guess what? It's still top 5 build in the game. Still probably one of, if not the tankiest builds. Which, with new content, you know, it's probably going to be overtuned, so pretty good bet. And it did infinity damage before, so 60 or 33% of infinity is still infinity, so you're still going to have really good damage. And the clear will be the same, that won't be touched. As you can see in this video, pretty decent clear. I was rank 2 in an XP race whenever this was, I don't know, I'm just watching a video. And I was almost rank 1, but I was casual, so I wasn't. And we're going to get to the boss here in a second. You'll see the pre-nerfed damage. So this is before the nerf, right? Yeah, well, imagine 33% of that. That's still really fast. Great, okay. Now, here we go. Fuck you, OBS, you're shit. I can't switch to POV because it's terrible. Great. Well. I'm just gonna cut that out. Alright. Great. I'm not cutting that out. Okay. Leveling skills, alright. You're gonna start off with Freezing Pulse, obviously, because you have nothing else. Freezing Pulse and Stormblast Mine. And then when you get Frost Bomb, you'll use Frost Bomb. And Orbistorms as well with your Stormblast Mine. Even though Orbistorms was nerfed, but overall it should still be doing more damage than it was before. So it's still fine. Leveling is exactly the same. It's just going to be a little bit better, actually. With Armageddon Brand and Cremation will be getting... I don't know if Cremation got buffed, but I know Armor Brand did. So it'll do a bunch more damage, but it'll activate slower, but that doesn't really matter because now instead of 2-shotting packs with this, you're going to 1-shot him. Right, okay. And then in this POB, which I stole, it says you can respec the Detonate Dead at like level 55 at Cruel Lab. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't know why it says that. I'd just stay Armor Brand Cremation for a while. And so you get Vol Detonate Dead. And your Desecrate needs to be like high level. So it's, you know, your Desecrate needs to, whatever level it says Spawn Corpse is up to level whatever. That level needs to be higher or equal to the area you're in. And if it's below it, it's going to be a bad time. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing this any time before maps. I don't know why it says to do that, but, you know, it doesn't matter. Ignore that. Or don't. I don't care. Right. You have Molten Shell linked with cast and damage taken. Still get a ton of armor on the build. That hasn't changed. They didn't nerf any armor or evasion or anything like that. So all the defensive mechanics are still exactly the same with Ghost Dance and stuff. Which, whatever. Your auras are going to be Tempest Shield, Determination, Defiance Banner, Grace. Yep. Great. Then your movement skill will be Shield Charge. You'll like to have faster attacks. And then you can also use Flame Dash to get over gaps and stuff so you don't get like stuck. And then you'll have Spell Cascade linked with Desecrate. And faster casting with Flame Dash. And then here are your Detonate Dead links. Ignite Prolift Combustion. Unbound Ailments. Burning Damage. Swift Affliction. You know, these might actually be kind of expensive this league in softcore. I know last league, these were probably pretty cheap. At least whenever I was looking for them, they were cheap. Maybe with EA being better, it might not be as cheap, but whatever. You don't need them. Then you'll link your Raise Spectre at Meat Shield and Minion Life. Especially now because they nerfed the life on Spectres. That was the main damage nerf to this, which ended up being a pretty huge nerf, but you can see the damage is still fine. This is post-nerf damage, so still pretty good. Not really insane though. Like if you're softcore blasting, you're probably not going to want to play this, but if you care about killing the boss and not dying 800 times in the process, then you might want to look at this build. But if you are softcore, here's what you can do. There's an unearthed setup. This one didn't really get hit at all. This one only got hit with the blanket ignite nerf. It didn't get, because this one doesn't rely on specters or anything. So with this, you're going to want like a 21 unearth, and empower, and enhance. And you're going to want a unearth helmet with plus 5 levels. Some other stuff too. Says it here in the notes. I'm not really familiar with that. You're probably going to want to look up a different build for that actually, if you do decide to go that route. But, you know, should be fine just following this. So leveling trees. Here's at level 33. You'll path up through here, go here first. Wait, no, you don't go here first. I don't know. This is a bad tree. I don't know who made this. Anyways, you'd go here first. Since you're going to be using Stormblast Mine until level 28. And then when you're level 28 and you respec, you can change this out for this. Honestly, I usually just keep these both because the res is nice while you're leveling. And you might still have some lightning damage on your wands or something for Armor Brand and Cremation or whatever. Then grab the life nodes, and then you come over here, grab these, grab those, grab this stuff. And then, here you go. Here's where Cruel Lab 55, it says DD respec. Now, if you listen to me, I'm going to say don't listen to that, but it's kind of confusing because it says listen to that, or, I mean, you're going to want to listen to that because it's in the POB, but this isn't my POB, I just stole this. So, don't do that. Or do, I don't care. You can try it, it's probably going to suck. No, maybe it won't, I don't know. Don't do it. Basically, ignore that, don't actually respec. And, you know, I might change some of this, and it might be actually different in the actual POB, because... yeah, I know, and in fact, I'm going to change some of those. So, in the PUB link in the description, it will actually be different. So, yeah. But anyways, basically after you're level 33 and get all this stuff, and once you're, like, using Cremation, I'd come up here and grab that. Because when you're using Cremation, Elemental Overload is good. Basically, just look at the POB in the description. Don't actually look at what's going on screen right now. I'm just stalling because I don't like making videos. So here, this will be the first. This will be the first Ascendancy point you take, and yeah, you know. Pretty good, make you do damage, take less damage. Here you go, Cruel Lab, you go take this one next. Makes you do more damage. And then here you go, Merc Lab, you can take this one. And Uber Lab, here you go, you take this one. If you're struggling while leveling and you plan on having a lot of regret orbs later, you can take this node and then respec it, because it gives you bunch of resistance, but you probably shouldn't need to do that, but I did it a few times while leveling, so if you feel like you need the handicap crutch, then here you go. You take that, but probably don't need to. And then, yeah, and then you're going to want to get a Glorious Vanity, pretty huge defensive buff. Though, even if you don't have it, you're still incredibly tanky. And then instead of taking these 4 nodes, you'll just take those 4 nodes. And then you'll be, like, pretty much spell block capped. And you'll need a little bit of more attack block chance, which would be used by taking this. But I didn't finish the POB yet, so which I thought I did, but I didn't realize what this was actually going to tell you to do until now. But basically, yeah, that's that. Gear. Use your gear. Easy scepter to get is just using an Essence of Fear on it. It just gives you minion damage and it'll scale because of whatever this node is called over here. Spiritual Aid. Right. So that's really easy to make. And then you can just keep rolling it until you get fire damage multi, and then you can craft it with trigger, or you can multi-mod it if you have multi-mod yet and you have a few exalts. Here's your weapon. You're going to want to get extra chance to block on it, hidden life, and reduce crit strikes. Really early on, you might need to get some spell suppression on it too if you don't have it on your other gear. Same thing. All your gear is pretty much the same. You just get life and spell suppression and res where you need it. And then you can craft duration of ailments you inflict while focus is increased, and that'll make your ignites last longer. And then, yep, same thing for here. You're going to want the Gravicious Craft from Syndicate, which is 10% of your max life is extra. Yes, that's huge for your Ghost Shrouds, which is pretty good for your tankiness. Every time you get hit, it'll give you a bunch of your energy shield back. So it's basically like you took no damage in a lot of cases. Yep, pretty much all the gear is the same. It's just life and spell suppression. Your amulet will want to be Ungol's Harmony. It'll make you pretty much always have your elemental overload uptime. Uptime up all the time. That's a lot of words. And yeah, you can get rid of it if you get enough crit chance, but I don't know if that might take a while, and especially with the damage nerfs now, you probably don't really want to sacrifice any damage, so you'll be using this for a while. If you can get rid of it, you can use something like an All's Uprising with Malevolence, and then that'll make you do more damage, and that also gives you more crit. That would be ideal. Then your ring, you're going to want minimum endurance charges on it to get more fizz reduction, life, and whatever stats you need, you can get on it too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So there's some cool notes here. So what you're gonna want to do is, if you want any Spectre info, it's in here. You open this in a browser. Make sure your ad block is off. However, you don't really need to know much anymore because of changes. You only need one Spectre now, so what you're probably going to want to get is Arena Master and Day of Tull. But Day of Tull's kind of weird because there's a few different versions of them, and I don't know where they're from, and I don't think anybody does either. And so you're going to have to test around with that or just not bother and just use an Arena Master. But the reason you use these now is because they buff you, and since the new max Spectre life is 360, everything above 360 is going to be scaled down to 360, probably. Unless they do it differently, in which case this is wrong and you shouldn't listen to it, but it's probably right. I wouldn't be surprised if it's right. I'm usually right. Except for when I'm not. But I probably am in this scenario, because that'd be weird if they didn't do that way. And yeah, everything you need to know will be in here. And yeah, I stream, so you can come ask me questions in Twitch chat, and I'll maybe not ignore you, but yeah. Remember to subscribe.